All right, guys, we are here with the Infinity Kappa 8. It was a request, really, to talk a little bit more about the Kappas and what the whole gist is of these speakers. So I'm not going too deep into this speaker on the spec front. There's plenty of specs you can pull up on the internet. It's 35 hertz to 35 kilohertz, 45 kilohertz, yada yada yada. There's one above this is the Kappa 9. I do prefer the 8 over the 9 for several reasons, but I'm not going into that either. That might be for another video. Just wanted to showcase to you what this speaker really is. So here we have the Infinity Kappa 8. I believe, and I solely believe that this is where your money should be. If you really want to have a taste of the Infinity sound, where you get a little hint of the upper end echelon, what they have to offer, the Kappa 8, and in a really huge room with really a nuclear reactor, the Kappa 9 as well, but the 8 is most accessible for people, even with a little bit smaller wallet. I'm one of those guys. I'm not, it's not like I can shake a tree and comes out. So the 8s, they go for about anywhere between $1,000 to $1,200. If they ask more, don't even bother. And that's had nothing to do with the speaker. You know, it's still worth having it, but then you're walking into all kinds of things because these speakers usually need a little bit of love. Now, as you can tell, this is a replacement driver. Usually the polydomes are rotten out. You either have to replace them, you got to send them out. It's $250, $275. The services for them become more expensive, but they're aftermarket, ones you can buy. I believe that the Simply speaker one, the black one, this is the wrong one. This one needs to go out. This is the previous owner did this. Needs to come out. These are garbage. But the black ones, I like them. The fabric domes, I like them better than the polydomes. They're more revealing than the polydomes. The polydomes are more, to me, a kind of a little bit of a muffled, little bit of a rolled off sound to them. Now, so keep that in mind when you're looking for them. I believe $1,000, $1,200 in good shape is worth it all day. What do you get? You get the 12-inch IMG woofer. So these the injected molded graphite woofer that you find in the IRS. You find them in the betas, and it was developed during the Kappa series. It was developed for the Kappa series. That's when they came up with these woofers. Then we have a custom. This is the only speaker that I know of in the Infinity realm that has this driver, a polygraph. So this is a mid-bass coupler that couples with this. So these two drivers work in a very narrow bandwidth, and they basically conjoined, they form a more fuller dynamic mid-range as they work as a front. So these drivers are not being taxed by any stretch of the imagination. They only work in a very narrow bandwidth there. Then we have a tweeter on the back as well, and we have 3 L pads. It's hard to see from there, guys. I know it's dark, but down there we have 3 L pads. I'm not going to bother you too much. So you can adjust this speaker. You can adjust this driver, the polygraph, the polydome, and the tweeter. So you can, basically the whole mid upper end you can adjust on the back. Now this is not a volume control. It's more of a contouring. So you get a slight, a slope difference there, here and there. The differences are not massive, but for some rooms, it just might be enough to deal with. Then we also have a hidden switch, which is the extended normal switch for the low end. So the extended switch is where the issues come in. Now this speaker is not too vicious on it. It will drop a big dip into the impedance. With the Kappa 9, that is 0.8 ohm on 27 hertz, I believe, or 29 hertz, one of the two, where it really just, tries to kill your amplifier. Now, this one does dip. I've measured these. Kappa is 10 times worse than this. This speaker pulled on war strength, so 85, 90 dB peaks. I don't go to 100 dBs. That's too loud for me. But give it a lot of bass and give it a lot of unfettered, really good and really bass-heavy music. And maybe 3 amps that it pulled out of the amplifier, 3, 4 amp peaks, sometimes 5 amps on really passages with very heavy rumbling, where the Kappa 9 pulled almost, and this is a staggering amount of amps, almost 11 amps out of the amplifier. So yeah, that was not good for your equipment. It's not great. This speaker is a lot friendlier. Yes, an extended can be a little bit more powerful, but you get also more powerful sound. So this speaker, of course, the cabinets are a big part of this speaker. You have the carpeted baffles, which I love. I think this should be almost standard on any speaker, really, that has a lot of baffle estate. It does help. It does help a little bit. The fluted cabinets is one of the cleverest designs I've seen in any speaker so far. And you don't see it anywhere else. These cabinets are so unique looking. So these are fluted, and this is not for aesthetics. This has a function. As you know, at certain frequencies, the sound wraps around the baffles, baffle, sorry. So what this does, it diffracts it. That's the whole idea behind these flutes. Now, can I prove to you that right now? No, I can't. But that was the design purpose of this, is as diffusers. Now, how does this speaker sound in overall? This speaker has on almost any frequency range or any frequency a superimposed dynamic feel to it. I think that's the best way to put it. So when you hear vocals, it really comes at you. It's really bigger sounding than, say, a speaker that uses a 5¼ inch mid-range driver or just a smaller dome. There's clearly more real estate there. You can hear it. The upper end is beautiful, sparkly. It's kind of a little bit recessed, I think, in the 8. Now, this could be with my speaker that needs more revision, which probably is the case, but I digress. But I do know the image well enough. This does actually mash pretty well. It's not perfect. The low end is the star of the show. The 12-inch in the acoustic suspension cabinet like this, the impact is great. Like, you have really a feel. It's almost like a cinematic feel to it when you're listening to music in basically stereo. So, sorry, it's been a long day, guys. I'm tired. If that makes sense, when you listen to a movie on a good home theater, you get that type of feel out of these speakers on 2 channels. You go like, whoa, didn't expect that. This is not a speaker that's going to blow your gums off. These are not long throw woofers. They're die-cast woofers, by the way. They're really relatively good quality. They were made in-house, so it's a custom driver. So for say $1,000, $1,200, you buy a speaker with a lot of custom drivers in it, legendary, and definitely a full packaged Nudell. This is something that Nudell did really well. The price point of these were $2,200 new, and for the 9, it was $3,000 new for a set. These 8 and 9s are phenomenal speakers in that price class. You get so much for it. You get proprietary drivers. You get the emits. You get the veneer. You get beautiful veneer. This veneer is ridiculously good. So I'm going up close with you guys so you can see it up close a little bit and pay extra attention to the veneer quality that these speakers have. And then keep in mind that these were built in '87. So they only were produced for a couple of years or so. But look at this. You won't see that in a $2,200 speaker anymore, guys. If you go to a store and you look up a speaker, you won't find this. I don't believe it. Everything I've seen so far in that price class, it's all vinyl wrap, MDF cabs. Okay, great. But this, to me, oozes quality, right? It's really a no-brainer for that price. This here, guys, I really think that this is the speaker you should go for if you look for an Infinity. I don't have much more to say about it, other than that you will not get an EMM sound out of that, okay? But you do get really musicality out of these speakers. If you drive them well, that is very pinnacle. It's not so much about controlling the speaker itself or its impedance dip. It's more so for the quality of those tweeters, because they will relay what you hang on there. And a lot of people go, it's harsh. It's not harsh. You're not used to that type of detailing. It's really what it is. Or you have just equipment that's really not agreeing with it, right? These tweeters don't make their own sound. It gets fed something and it pushes it out. That's what it does. So it's not doing anything that you're not giving it, right? So now, I mean, to me, it's just such a beautiful design. This cab is so awesome. Sorry about the mess in the background, guys. I mean, look at that. It's just gorgeous. These are gorgeous speakers. These I will never get rid of, hands down. And look at that. It's a nice little pair, isn't it? Gives you a little bit of a size here. Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully this was fun. Maybe we'll do a comparison with the 8.1. We'll see where we're at with it. Thank you for watching.